Peter Gay.
Hi, Edwin. Now, several doctors reported ill at the Peebles Hospital in Roadtown on Monday and couldn't work. Why? They were staging a sick out because they were making known their displeasure with discrepancies in the pay and benefit scale awarded to medical doctors from the BVI as against expat doctors. Now, contrary to other reports in the media that this action continued from Monday into today, our newsroom was told by the BVI Medical Association that that was not the case, as the protest action ended on Monday and was just held on Monday as they watch and see what happens from here going onwards. Now, how did this state of affairs come about? Well, apparently last November, the local media published a report following the presentation of documents in Parliament by Health Minister Ronnie Skelton, which showed the pay scale or the monies that were made annually by local and expat doctors and nurses. And this resulted in doctors from the BVI being disgruntled about the situation and placing a letter writing to the BVI HSA about their concerns. Now, then chairman of the BVI HSA, Bishop John Klein, told them that the situation would have been reviewed and a response provided by December 31st of last year, but that is yet to happen, and so the doctors took this action on Monday. Now, in explaining to me what happened on Monday, the vice president of the BVI Medical Association, Dr. Craig Stout, highlighted the tardiness in the BVI HSA's response to them regarding this matter, even after meeting with the new CEO who took up office, Paula Chester Cumberbatch, in November of 2016. Here is what he told me.
They call it sick leave and paid emergency leave. Some of them, when they were actually reviewed by the doctors, were actually found to be sick, and they were giving sick leave as appropriate. There were also some non-medical personnel, but we had doctors from every specialty: emergency room, obstetrics, gynecology, even community health, mental health, dermatology. Every specialty had actually participated. There were doctors from every nationality. If you have a group of professionals write you a series of letters and you do not respond, it is disrespectful. That's more than disrespectful, and basically they have no regard for us. And in my opinion, that's something that was intentional.
Now, Edu Enka, on February 17 of this year, the BVI HSA CEO wrote to the Medical Doctors Association apologizing for the lack of communication and also disclosing that the sudden resignation of the former chairman of the board in January had resulted in the delay. However, the doctors aren't too convinced by this explanation. I did speak with Mrs. Cumberbatch yesterday regarding the sick out, and she did state that there was a meeting of the board that was supposed to be held today which would have examined the matter. I wasn't able to get an update from her today up until our broadcast. However, let's take a look at what she told me yesterday.
We were able to ensure coverage of all areas. Various doctors came forward and indicated and actually provided coverage. The BVI HSA, with the support of the board, has been working together to review all of the issues and to correct some of the concerns, to address some of the concerns that the doctors would have expressed. All personnel must feel, comfortable in terms of where they are working, their remuneration, and those other factors. So it is something that we have been working diligently on. I had written to them last week to note that, to apologize for the delay, and to note that the discrepancies, or the compensation review, really, not the discrepancies, the compensation review was being presented to the board on the 21st.
Dr. Stout says that the doctors were invited to that meeting which was held earlier today where they represented their concerns to the board. Here he is.
We went to the board meeting and asked to say a few words, and we were allowed to speak. And seems that a lot of the communications and the letters that we wrote, that actually even the deputy chairman had copies of those letters, and all of the information that outlined the problems, outlined solutions, outlined salary scales in other jurisdictions or in related jurisdictions. It seemed like that information was not shared with the remaining board members. So at least they have copies of those notes, at least that they will have those to discuss. They wanted some stuff from us as well, making some recommendations, so we will just give them that, and we will see what goes from there.
So Edu Enka, from here it's a waiting and seeing in terms of the communication between both parties, and there you have it in terms of the latest regarding the discontent involving medical doctors at People's Hospital.
Well, Peter Gate, it seems that solutions are on the way. It's not as bad as it has been made appear to be. There's been negotiations. I think
Yes.
the Health Service Authority recognizes the grievances of the doctors. There are plans afoot to review the salary scales and to make adjustments. I don't know, you could almost say that perhaps the sick out reflects a little impatience perhaps on the doctor's part, but I suppose if it's been a long time coming, you would have to do something.
Right,
But
which is what they told
that's
me.
what, yeah. But it seemed as though the services were not affected. The HSA put measures in place to make up the difference in the lack of employees, doctors present. So
Yes.
it seemed to have been handled very well, and I guess we can expect in the near future an amicable solutions to whatever the challenges may be.
Yes, and because as Dr. Stout just said, right now what they have been asked to go back to their members to do is to provide a series of recommendations that the BVI HSA can use in this realignment. And the list of concerns from the medical doctors, Edu Enka, range from renegotiating the negotiation of contracts to have parity at all levels, to standardize the pay scale, housing allowances, to have equity in that as well, the timely renewal of the contracts, the payment of gratuities on time. And what Dr. Stout shared with me was one of the proposals that have already been made to the BVI HSA regarding the negotiation of contracts. Let's take a look at that.
I came back here to the British Virgin Islands, and I was serving, and I've been serving as an anesthesiologist, a medical specialist. I'm paid a certain amount. Now there are other doctors that come to the BVI, train at the same institution where I train. They receive their training since I received my training, but yet they are paid $15,000 to $20,000 more. Now, if there was a standardized compensation package, that would not happen. Because if you're doing the same work, if you have the same qualifications, there's no reason for you to have that sort of discrepancy between those compensation packages. So, if the BVI HSA decides to give those compensation packages on an individual basis and let everybody negotiate those packages on their own, that means that there will never be any fairness in how the staff is remunerated. That was just a recommendation that they need to be a little more transparent in what they are doing.
All right, so Edu Enka, there you have it. One of the recommendations that are sure to be included in that response that the BVI Medical Association will be providing to the HSA going forward. The opposition leader also weighed in on this issue today. He basically said that the BVI, the government rushed in getting rid of the former BVI HSA chairman, which has contributed to this situation, and has called on the government to step in to quickly resolve this situation involving the medical doctors and the authorities there at People's Hospital.
Yeah. Well, you know, Peter Gay, in wrapping up, this has been a sore point, a historic sore point for Virgin Islanders, not only in the medical profession, but in many cases in high-level positions in the territory, where in order to entice persons with high-level skills and experience to come into the territory, special dispensations are made for those persons, and housing allowance and food allowance and car allowance have been some of those initiatives, those incentives, I should say.
Yes.
So it's not a recent event. It's gone across governments for many years, and I'm happy to see that there seem to be now some solution in sight. So that's a really good thing. So that's really great stuff. I think that was a very balanced report, Peter Gay. I've seen some reports on it in a couple of sites today, and you would think that it was a war going on, but I'm happy that you're able to get to the bottom of it and to show the real issue confronting the health services in your report. Great stuff. Thank you very much.